Hey, welcome back to the Fantasy Headliners. And if you're new to the Fantasy Headliners, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join Headliner Nation today. But it's been a crazy couple of days in free agency, but where there is crazy, there are the Fantasy Headliners, because we have been covering it all for you, dropping these videos as quickly as possible, making sure that you have all the information right away to make informed decisions in all of your fantasy football leagues, whether it be Dynasty, Redraft, Devy, doesn't matter. We are here to help you out. And of course, the big news right now, Le'Veon Bell, the saga is done. He is headed to the New York Jets. All of the drama done. Odell Beckham Jr., Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, all the players we've been keeping close eyes on, they are basically going to be quiet now until training camp gets here. But let's talk about this deal with the Jets right now. 4 years, $52 million. Haven't heard anything about guaranteed money yet. So we'll see whether or not him sitting out last year was really betting on himself and he ends up winning. Now, honestly, being with the Steelers would be ideal, but I like this signing, and I like it a lot, actually. I like Le'Veon Bell to the Jets. I know he sat out all of 2018, so you could argue that he'll be healthier, that his legs will be fresher, lots of different things you can say. But with that being said, keep in mind that in fantasy football leagues, you're probably going to have 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks of a rusty Le'Veon Bell, a guy that is going to have to take a few weeks to get going because he probably won't play a whole lot in preseason, because really nobody should. It's dangerous, and we don't want people getting hurt in games that don't matter. So anyway, but keep in mind that when Bell was coming off his ACL injury, it took him a while to get going as well. When he missed basically all of training camp and sat out, that took him a little while to get going. So, it's only natural that he's going to have some rust. So just keep in mind that if you draft him, you might have 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks where you just don't get a very good Le'Veon Bell. But let's remember the last time he was on the field in 2017, a career-high 321 rushes, 406 total touches, 1,946 total yards, 11 total touchdowns. So that's the Le'Veon Bell we know and love, and that's the Le'Veon Bell that we spend first-round picks on. I would say right now, for me, Le'Veon Bell is probably a running back 5 or 6. Now, we'll see what ends up happening with some of the other backs. What happens with where just some value goes the rest of the season. I'm not ready to commit to Le'Veon Bell at that point right now, but I do think he will end up being a running back 1. I will have him as a running back 1 this season. So I'm okay with him at that point right there. The Jets on defense, they've helped out their defense quite a bit in free agency. So they've added a defensive lineman. Obviously, they added C.J. Mosley as well. Anthony Barr was supposed to go there, but we found out that he decided to head back to Minnesota, so that is not going to end up happening. But keep in mind, too, the Jets have a high first-round draft pick. They can bring in a guy like a Quinn Williams. They can bring in, maybe a Josh Allen falls to them. A lot of different things could happen where they can get themselves another pass rusher at the top of the draft. So, with that being said, this defense is going to be pretty good next season, I believe. And they're playing in a division that I think they'll finish second in at this point, where they're going to have to face the Miami Dolphins twice a year. They're a wreck. The Buffalo Bills have tried to do as much as possibly could to help that offense, and even though I like some of the moves that they made, I still don't think that offense is going to be scary in 2019. So the Jets have an opportunity to have 2 games there, and then obviously the Patriots, there are a couple of things we don't know if Rob Gronkowski is going to be back. Obviously, we're still kind of waiting on that offense to shape up as well. So the Jets have an opportunity to get some games in their own division against opponents that may not be the most scariest offenses in the world. So that is good for this defense. And with that being said, if the defense is good all year long, because they are going to be playing a much easier schedule, if the defense is good all year long, that is really an opportunity for the Jets to say, we're going to lean on Le'Veon Bell, we're going to take the pressure off Sam Darnold, we are going to focus on the run, and we are going to win with our defense. Sam Darnold, I didn't love him coming out of the draft, but he played excellent at the end of last season. But the pressure's off of him now. He doesn't have to be a great quarterback. He just needs to go out there and be a good quarterback. If he limits turnovers, if he hits his receivers, if he runs the offense well, this is an offense that can be very successful now. This running back is what they needed to go with other complementary players. Jamison Crowder, they signed in free agency. I like him in the slot. Quincy Enunwa was moving outside. Robbie Anderson will be on the outside. He played really well at the end of last season, too. This team is trending up. The New York Jets are trending up, and they are going to offer us some options for fantasy football this year. So to recap, basically my fantasy football perspective here, Le'Veon Bell probably going to be a running back 5 or 6 for me, but we'll wait and see how that plays out. He is definitely a running back 1. With Sam Darnold, I'm probably looking at him being a high-end QB2 right now. I don't know if he does nearly or if he has nearly enough volume in 2019 to break QB1 status. It's going to be close, but I think he'll be a high QB2 at least. Also, Robbie Anderson, I think he has wide receiver 2 upside. Jamison Crowder in PPR leagues, I'll take a look at him as a wide receiver 3. Quincy Enunwa, I'm leaving him on waivers right now. I'm not really interested in him, even though I had him as a buy low this offseason and love Quincy Enunwa. I like him better in the slot mismatching, but that's not going to happen with Crowder now. So he's going to move to the outside, but if there's an injury or something, then you'll take a look at him at that point. So just a quick breakdown here of this signing. Le'Veon Bell again headed to the New York Jets. The saga is over with him. We don't need to worry about encrypted tweets anymore and anything like that. Like this signing for the Jets, like the landing spot, like the offense headed into next year. Make sure you hit the like button on the video if we really appreciate that here. And again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And let us know your comments. What do you think of this signing? Where do you think the Jets are headed? Let us know below. One of the most interactive channels on YouTube. You comment, we respond. So give us your takes, and we will also respond with you and interact with you. So that's a great thing about this channel. It's for the people. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.